Hey there, Planet Sewers. It's Mathletee here with my first episode, officially, of our Houston Zoo build that I've been creating off of the entrance that's available in the workshop. If you do want to see what everything looks like in that entrance, check out my Houston Zoo entrance video in this playlist. And what I'm doing here is making some planters. The ones in the game were not quite as big as what I needed, and so I ended up making two, one smaller one and one larger one. Actually, I made more than that. There's one lurking in the background that I didn't like for this build, so I blueprinted it and deleted it later. And so I'm using this mud pillar so that I can make some perfect circles with these stones. The mud pillar is on a grid, and it's in the center of its grid, so it makes a wonderful piece to rotate around so you can make some perfect circles with different items. There's some really good YouTube tutorials out there you can look up if you're struggling to use this technique, or I can make one for you if you guys like. Just let me know. With the mud pillar technique, you either have to delete it as you go, or you can delete them at the end. You can also take it out at the beginning, but I tend to accidentally nudge things here and there, so I leave it in. And we're gonna place some mulch in here, decorate our planter, and get it in place. I'm making sure I have some nice foundation to work with. Back there is where I will be putting my Macaw Cafe, which will be episode 2. Originally it was going to be my first episode. As I started putting this together, it was really long, and I had a hard time deciding if you guys wanted to see the planters being built, if you didn't want to see it built. So I decided to split it up and isolate Macaw into its own episode. So this will be the first episode instead of the Macaw Cafe, and I will release this one tonight, which is Saturday, and the Macaw Cafe will still be released tomorrow. And from there, I'm going to try to keep a weekly Sunday release of new episodes. I may change that if I have the same habit of too much footage going on. If you feel there's stuff I can take out that you don't want to see built, go ahead and let me know in the comments, and I can focus on what you do like to watch as far as the builds go, the tours go. When I watch videos, I like both, but not everybody is like me. I like to watch the speed builds. I learn a lot just by watching. Sometimes they're too fast, and I didn't want to speed everything up super fast just to make everything a smaller video. Here I'm just adding the rope into this planter, and then I will move it straight across and then rotate it around in pairs as a copy. It can be a tedious process. It takes a little while to get everything just in the right spot. I didn't want any little ropes poking through. But these details, when you're doing big builds, can just make everything look so wonderful. And they're well worth the time. A lot of times you can find these things in the Steam workshop. Maybe I'll blueprint some of these as well for y'all to use in your zoos if you like. And let me know if you'd like to, and I'd be more than happy to put that up on the workshop for you. A few more sides to go to get these ropes in. I do use Google Earth, if I haven't mentioned it. I'm planning a trip to the zoo soon to go get some of my own pictures to use as reference so that I can get more updated information about what it looks like than Google Earth. And sometimes the views from Google Earth are really hard to get the scale. I was comparing today the aerial view of my zoo in game versus the aerial view of the zoo on Google Earth, and I probably will need to go back and move some things a little bit and redo a little bit of my plaza. I'm still deciding if I'm going to cover the paths so they can look fluid, or redo them and see if I can get them to be a little more like they are in real life. I don't like how the way I had to path some things where guests can walk through the walls, and that really bothers me. And I really don't want to put trash cans everywhere. So here go in my last flowers to make this planter. And yay, we're done with planters. I'm going to spin everything just to give them a little variety. And some of these flowers you can change the colors. I didn't know that. I read it in a post somewhere, and I was very excited to know that you can edit the flowers that way. If you notice, a lot of times I have objects sitting to the side. I like to kind of go through, look at my options when I'm comparing a real life item to something I'm trying to build in game, so I can get a feel for what my options are piecewise in the game, and then start building from there. When I was looking at the image of this info booth that I'm about to build, it's just basically a bulletin board of different items and different things to see in the zoo, along with a map, and you are here, and it has a number 1 on it. So I'm assuming that throughout the zoo there's more of these with different numbers for points of interest. I haven't been to the zoo since my son was really little. It's probably been 10 years or more. He's 19 now. And so I do need to make that visit. When I was walking through the zoo in the camera modes, I did notice that, again, it must be my thing to do. It is comically large. So as guests were walking by and I was at level with them, I noticed for them to actually see anything, the eye level is not there. They have to really look up. I did place the archer. I didn't create him. You can find him in the workshop. I'll put a link for you guys if you do want to go use him. But apparently I ignored him and his eye level and just built away. I get a little zoned in and I just took off with building. And I feel that, I guess the way the game is with how it's set up, I have a bad habit of being comically large in my building things. I do wish we had some vertical screens to pick from instead of using conservation boards. It is good for education. However, I wish I had better options, because some formats of things, I do want them vertical and to be able to place them easily. I do know that these are relatively new to Planet Zoo, and they've opened up a lot of fun for me with the game. I really enjoy getting to make the stylized part of the zoo, especially with this realistic style of trying to recreate the Houston Zoo, as well as when I did the Memphis Zoo entrance that I have on my workshop. I really enjoy looking at their graphics and using them to give that real feel that you're really in that zoo. And now we're getting ready to do a little walkthrough of our zoo here. And this time I just did my tour with the regular cameras, and for some reason I am horrible at camera controls in all games. So bear with me. We're gonna just stroll through here, our main entrance. If you do want to see the rest of the entrance, again, it's in the first video of this playlist where I go through all the areas. Today we're just gonna go through the entrance, take a look at the zoo entrance just from different angles from the outside. I do have the Macaw Cafe already in here, so I'm trying to avoid it. So just a sneak peek here of my plaza. And thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you with the Macaw Cafe tomorrow. May the RNG odds be ever in your favor.